Are you missing the forgotten flavors of youth? The ones the modern kitchen no longer dares to make? Forget organic ingredients. We will take you back to tables where meatloaf was frosted like a birthday cake and green salad defied the laws of physics. Do you dare to face the forgotten memories that shaped American childhoods and families? Let's restore the delicious dishes that no one wanted to miss this decade. Tuna twist casserole. Let's start with tuna twist casserole, the ultimate midweek dinner solution of the 70s. A dish that appeared on millions of American tables with its creamy and utterly satisfying combination. This classic casserole combines canned tuna, an affordable and readily available ingredient, with soft spiral pasta. It is topped with a thick layer of cream of mushroom soup, creating the signature creamy base of the cuisine of that decade. But what truly defines this dish is the crispy topping. It wasn't expensive breadcrumbs, but a layer of salty, crunchy, crushed potato chip topping, which created the perfect textural balance that kids couldn't resist. Mothers across the country loved tuna twist casserole because it was affordable, filling, and most importantly, it could feed a family of 6 for just a few dollars, making it the MVP of budget meals. The stroke of genius that made this version special was the addition of frozen peas and diced pimento peppers, adding bright, cheerful specks of color to the creamy base. Many families personalized their recipe, adding diced celery for extra crunch, or a splash of hot sauce for a flavor kick. Deviled ham logs. When it comes to 70s cocktail parties, deviled ham logs cannot be overlooked. These savory cylindrical appetizers were the height of convenient, yet elegant entertaining of that era. Deviled ham logs combine canned deviled ham, rich cream cheese, and spices. The mixture is then shaped into logs and rolled in chopped nuts, herbs, or sometimes crushed potato chips to create a crispy outer shell. What hostesses loved was the ability to prepare them days in advance and keep them ready in the refrigerator for unexpected guests. When sliced, the dish reveals perfect rounds with a crispy exterior and a smooth, creamy interior. The combination of smoky ham flavor and the richness of cream cheese creates an addictive umami flavor that keeps party guests coming back for more. This appetizer was considered the perfect choice when paired with popular cocktails of the time like Harvey Wallbangers and Tequila Sunrises, creating a lively party setting where social connection was emphasized. Beef stroganoff with hamburger. This creamy, savory flavor appeals to both children and adults, making it one of the rare dinners the whole family didn't complain about. Beef stroganoff with hamburger is the perfect testament to the American ability to adapt international cuisine in the 70s. This Americanized version of the classic Russian dish became a midweek staple by replacing expensive traditional beef tenderloin with more economical ground beef. The dish combines browned ground beef, sliced mushrooms, and onions in a creamy sauce, enriched with sour cream and sometimes cream of mushroom soup. Served over egg noodles, it offers a quick route to a dinner that sounds elegant and sophisticated while still satisfying the whole family. This dish frequently appeared in women's magazines and community cookbooks as a budget-friendly yet internationally flavored meal. Variations included adding a splash of cooking sherry or a dollop of ketchup to enhance the flavor. Busy mothers appreciated this dish because it could be prepared in a single pan, except for the noodles, and required common ingredients easily found in 70s kitchens. Frosted meatloaf. Meatloaf underwent a dramatic makeover when creative homemakers began frosting it with mashed potatoes to create frosted meatloaf. This presentation dish transformed humble ground beef into something that looked like a celebratory layer cake, yet retained the pure comfort flavor of a family meal. The base was a traditional meatloaf mixture including ground beef, breadcrumbs, eggs, and chopped onions, often enhanced with hidden vegetables like grated carrots. After baking, the meatloaf was cooled slightly and then completely covered with creamy, smooth mashed potatoes, applied with decorative swirls using a pastry bag. Ambitious cooks even added food coloring to a portion of the potatoes to create decorative floral shapes on top. Some versions included a thin layer of ketchup between the meatloaf and the potatoes for added flavor. This beautiful presentation concealed the practicality of the dish. It used affordable ingredients and could be prepared in advance for guests. When sliced, the contrast between the meat and the potato layer created a stunning visual effect, making dinner feel more special. Chinese pie. Despite its misleading name, Chinese pie is actually unrelated to Chinese cuisine, but is instead a variation of the Quebec tourtière in New England. This hearty, layered casserole became popular in working-class families across the Northeast before spreading nationwide through community cookbooks. The base layer is seasoned ground beef and onions. Next is the middle layer of sweet creamed corn, and it is all covered with a thick blanket of mashed potatoes. The dish is baked until the potato peaks turn golden brown, creating a complete meal in a single pan. The genius of Chinese pie lies in its ability to stretch modest ingredients into a filling dinner. The sweet creamed corn layer perfectly balances the savory meat and starchy potatoes. Regional variations include adding a layer of green beans or mixing the creamed corn with cream of mushroom soup. Some families added Worcestershire sauce or ketchup to the meat for enhanced flavor. This classic comfort food represents the multicultural influences that shaped American cuisine even while its name remains a culinary mystery. Porcupine meatballs. These unusual meatballs earned the name porcupine meatballs because the raw rice mixed into the meat mixture absorbs liquid during cooking and protrudes like small porcupine quills. Porcupine meatballs combine ground beef, raw rice, egg, and seasonings, which are then simmered in a tomato sauce until the rice is tender. The cleverness lies in the rice serving a dual purpose, acting as a filler to stretch the expensive beef and as the starchy component of the meal. The tomato sauce becomes infused with the meat's flavor during cooking, creating a rich, satisfying gravy perfect for spooning over the finished dish. Mothers appreciated this one-pot meal because it required minimal cleanup and could simmer unattended while they helped their children with homework. Regional variations included adding green bell peppers to the sauce or incorporating oatmeal alongside the rice and the meat mixture. Some families served them with a dollop of sour cream on top. This economical and filling meal represents the creative problem-solving of 70s home cooks, who needed to feed hungry families on a tight budget while still making dinner feel special. During times of economic hardship, what tips did your family have for turning basic ingredients into special meals? Comment below. Crêpe Suzette. Crêpe Suzette, the flaming French dessert, embodied the sophisticated entertainment style of the 70s, bringing restaurant drama into the family dining room. This dish consists of delicate, thin crepes, bathed in a sauce made from caramelized sugar, butter, orange juice, and orange zest. What makes crêpe Suzette special is the dramatic flambé performance, using Grand Marnier or Cointreau right at the table. The preparation was not just cooking, but a show, where the host proudly displayed their culinary dexterity by safely controlling the flame. Julia Child and other TV chefs popularized French cooking techniques, inspiring home cooks to try dishes that seemed inaccessible just a decade earlier. The combination of soft crepes, rich buttery sauce, and bright citrus flavor creates a memorable dessert experience. This dramatic presentation makes the dessert perfect for special occasions and dinner parties, where the host wants to create a memorable finale. Potato peel soup. The second dish is potato peel soup, an inventive creation born from difficult times, now almost vanished from modern culinary consciousness. Hidden in the yellowed pages of heirloom recipe collections, it turns what most modern cooks discard into a surprisingly worthwhile meal. This simple dish, just seasoned broth turned into stock with discarded potato peels, reveals the resourcefulness of our ancestors during periods of scarcity. What is truly remarkable about this forgotten classic is not its flavor, but its incredible ability to help satisfy hunger for extended periods. Similar to how modern eaters feel unexpectedly full after a bowl of oatmeal, potato peel soup leverages the significant fiber content concentrated in the peels. About half of the vegetable's total fiber lies exclusively in the skin. This humble recipe earned its place in old cookbooks precisely because it fed families when resources were scarce, effectively warding off cravings when food was limited. Wa-kikiki meatballs. The tiki craze of the 60s extended its influence into 70s home cooking, with dishes like wa-kikiki meatballs. These sauced meatballs combine ground beef with crushed saltine crackers, egg, and chopped onion. They are shaped into balls, browned, before being simmered in a sweet and sour sauce. This sauce features pineapple chunks, green bell peppers, and brown sugar. This oddly named dish brought suburban families a taste of the tropics without having to leave home. The vibrant sauce, often thickened with cornstarch for glossiness, created a gravy that paired perfectly with white rice. Some versions included maraschino cherries for added color and sweetness. This dish perfectly captured the 70s fascination with Polynesian-inspired cuisine, popularized by restaurants like Trader Vic's. Home cooks appreciated this meal because it could be prepared ahead of time and reheated, perfect for busy weeknights or weekend parties. Quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine, once considered exotic French cuisine, became a mainstream American phenomenon in the 70s, appearing at brunches, lunches, and dinner parties nationwide. This savory egg tart, filled with bacon, Swiss cheese, and onions nestled in a buttery crust, represented sophisticated European cuisine, made accessible to home cooks. Throughout the 70s, it was the dish chosen by hosts to impress guests with their international culinary knowledge. The combination of the crisp crust, creamy egg filling, and smoky bacon created a perfect balance of flavor and texture. Ambitious cooks experimented with variations, adding spinach, mushrooms, or seafood to create their signature version. The dish could be served hot, room temperature, or cold, making it perfect for buffets and picnics. Quiche represented the growing American interest in international cuisine beyond Italian and Chinese dishes. Chicken divan. Chicken divan was the elegant casserole that brought restaurant sophistication to family dining rooms across America. This dish layered tender chicken and fresh broccoli with a rich sauce made from cream, butter, and sherry wine, then topped with cheese and breadcrumbs before baking to a perfect gold. Originally created at the Devon Parisian restaurant in New York, the dish was adapted for home cooks in the 70s, often using cream of chicken soup as a shortcut for the classic Mornay sauce. The vibrant green of the broccoli stood out against the creamy sauce base, creating a beautiful presentation that made a midweek dinner feel special. Some variations included adding curry powder for an exotic touch, or water chestnuts for extra crunch. The dish could be prepared ahead and refrigerated, making it perfect for entertaining or busy weeknights. Chicken divan represents the 70s trend of adapting restaurant classics for the home kitchen using convenience ingredients. It also reflects the decade's growing appreciation for vegetables like broccoli, which became more common in American cuisine during this period. Ham and banana Hollands. One of the more unusual creations of the decade was ham and banana Hollands, representing the decade's reckless spirit of 70s cooking experimentation. This curious dish features ripe bananas wrapped in slices of ham, baked with a touch of mustard, lemon juice, and topped with a quick hollandaise sauce made from egg yolks, butter, and lemon juice. This sweet, savory, tangy combination appeared in several women's magazines of the era, presented as an elegant lunch option for adventurous hostesses. The contrast between the warm, soft banana and the salty ham created a flavor experience unlike anything in modern cuisine. The dish was often garnished with parsley and paprika for color and served with rice pilaf. While it may sound strange to modern palates, this combination reflects the 70s fascination with Hawaiian-inspired dishes, combining meat with tropical fruit. Ham and banana Hollands represent a fearless approach to flavor pairing, a characteristic that shaped the decade's experimental food culture. Cheese fondue. Cheese fondue was the ultimate 70s social dining experience, bringing family and friends together around a pot of melted Swiss and Gruyere cheese. This interactive meal became the centerpiece of countless dinner parties after Americans discovered the Swiss tradition. The bubbling cheese pot was seasoned with garlic, white wine, and Kirschwasser, creating a luxurious dip for crusty bread cubes. The communal aspect turned dinner into an event rather than just a meal. Special long-handled fondue forks with colored tips helped diners keep track of their bread cubes when dipping into the communal pot. According to party tradition, if someone dropped their bread into the cheese, they would have to give a kiss to the whole table, or buy the drinks for the next round. Beyond the basic recipe, adventurous hosts offered extra dippers like cubed boiled potatoes, apple slices, or even diced ham. The popularity of cheese fondue spawned countless fondue cookbooks and led to chocolate fondue and oil fondue variations. Do you have any odd combinations that your friends still talk about? Share your party stories and memories. California Department. No 70s party was complete without a bowl of California dip surrounded by ruffled potato chips. This simple yet addictive combination of dry onion soup mix stirred into sour cream created a flavor sensation, becoming the decade's must-have appetizer. Lipton popularized the recipe by printing it on their onion soup mix packets, leading to a national obsession. The savory, slightly tangy dip paired perfectly with the salty crunch of potato chips, creating an irresistible combination that kept party guests coming back to the snack table. The dip could be prepared in minutes with 2 ingredients, making it perfect for last-minute entertaining or potluck contributions. Some variations included adding shredded cheese, chopped water chestnuts, or a splash of Worcestershire sauce. In addition to potato chips, this versatile dip was also used as a topping for baked potatoes or as a flavor enhancer for meatloaf. Tomato aspic with veg-all. Perhaps no dish evokes the 70s dinner party aesthetic more strongly than tomato aspic with veg-all. This wobbly, savory gelatin salad combined tomato juice, unflavored gelatin, and canned mixed vegetables, veg-all, into a molded salad that appeared on countless buffet tables. The bright red aspic was unmolded onto lettuce leaves and sometimes garnished with a dollop of mayonnaise, creating a striking presentation that homemakers took great pride in. The tomato flavor was often enhanced with lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, and a dash of hot sauce, lending a complex, Bloody Mary-like flavor that adults appreciated. Canned veg-all provided convenience and colorful chunks of vegetables suspended in the clear red jelly layer. Some variations included adding chopped celery for crunch or horseradish for a touch of heat. While modern diners might hesitate at the concept of vegetables suspended in jelly, many who grew up with the dish still remember it fondly for its refreshing tanginess and visual effect. Watergate salad. Named after the notorious political scandal of the era, Watergate salad became an immediate sensation after Kraft printed the recipe on their pistachio pudding mix boxes. This fluffy, sweet green concoction combined instant pistachio pudding mix with crushed pineapple, mini marshmallows, chopped nuts, and whipped topping. It was a sweet side dish that defied traditional meal categories. Was it a salad or a dessert? Americans didn't care. They just knew it tasted good. The bright green color of the dish made it a conversation starter at potlucks and holiday gatherings. The dish required no cooking skills, just stirring cold ingredients together, making it accessible even to novice cooks. Some variations included adding cottage cheese for extra protein or maraschino cherries for color contrast. The unusual name helped popularize the dish as people shared the recipe with friends, sometimes calling it pistachio delight or green stuff instead. Hamburger boats. Dinner became an adventure with hamburger boats, transforming ordinary ground beef into a playful meal that pleased both children and adults. Hollowed-out hamburger bun boats were baked until golden, then stuffed with a mixture of browned ground beef, diced onions, and most importantly, canned tomato soup, which provided the characteristic flavor for the filling. These boats were topped with slices of melted American cheese, creating a gooey treasure beneath which the flavorful meat mixture awaited. Mothers often sneakily added chopped vegetables like bell peppers to the filling, making it a complete meal disguised as a fun culinary experience. The genius of hamburger boats lay in their customizability. Each family member could garnish their boat with different toppings like sliced olives, sliced pickles, or crushed potato chips. Egg drop soup. In old cookbooks from previous generations, detailed instructions guided how to turn humble ingredients into something remarkable by whisking eggs into boiling broth, creating silky ribbons of egg floating in the golden liquid. The instructions were often gracefully imprecise. A pot of broth heated until steam rose, with the egg added in a thin stream while stirring gently to achieve the signature delicate texture. The result was a soup that combined the rustic simplicity of fresh farm eggs with carefully crafted broth, often simmered for hours. Handwritten notes in the margins often suggested adding a dash of fresh ground pepper or garden-grown chives to enhance the traditional flavor. This beloved dish filled not only recipe cards but entire sections of community cookbooks, where each family variation told a story of regional preferences and inherited techniques. Which dish on this list touched you the most because it brought back memories of a loved one? Share the traditional values you want to pass on to the next generation. Sardine sandwich. The sardine sandwich is the dish that created a 3-foot radius of emptiness around you. Canned sardines were mashed with mayonnaise on white bread, sometimes with a squeeze of lemon juice if your parents were sophisticated. Its smell announced your lunch before you even opened the lunchbox. Kids would dramatically hold their noses, but the secret was that some of them envied your sophisticated palate. The oily fish would soak into the bread, making the entire dish a savory, soft experience that you either loved or hated. There was an unspoken hierarchy to sardine sandwiches. The basic version had just fish and mayo. The intermediate version included diced onions or celery for texture, and the elite version added capers or chopped pickles for tanginess. Some considered it an affordable, high-protein option, while others saw it as a delicacy worth the high price of imported fish. The best versions had the sardines mashed just enough to create a spread, while still leaving some recognizable pieces for texture. By mid-morning, the sandwich would be fully mature, with the flavors blending together and the oil soaking into the bread to create a unified culinary experience. Cheese and jelly sandwich. Cream cheese was spread thickly on white bread with a layer of grape jelly. This sweet and tangy combination was a revelation before elaborate flavor pairings became common. It was like having dessert for lunch, and sometimes the cream cheese would melt just enough to swirl with the jelly, creating marbled swirls that looked as good as they tasted. Opening the lunchbox and finding this sandwich meant your parents had taken extra time that morning, as spreading cold cream cheese onto soft bread required patience and finesse. Different jelly flavors created different experiences. Grape was classic and bold. Strawberry added a touch of finesse, and rare exotic flavors like apricot or black raspberry meant your family had just visited a farmer's market or a fancy store. By noon, the jelly would have partially absorbed into both the cream cheese and the bread, creating a visually appealing gradient color effect. In the winter months, the cream cheese layer would retain its firmness, while in warmer weather it would develop a soft, almost frosting-like consistency. Carrot raisin salad. Carrot raisin salad was the sweet and crunchy side dish that brought color and nutrition to countless dinner tables and potlucks throughout the decade. This salad combines fresh grated carrots with plump raisins, mixed in a sweet mayonnaise dressing that often included a touch of pineapple juice for extra flavor. The contrast between the crunchy carrots and the chewy raisins created an appealing textural experience for both children and adults. Home cooks appreciated this salad because it could be prepared hours in advance and would only improve as the flavors mingled in the refrigerator. Some variations included adding crushed pineapple, chopped walnuts, or a sprinkle of coconut for a tropical flair. The bright orange color made it a popular choice for holiday meals, adding vibrant color to plates otherwise dominated by beige and brown dishes. Salmon patties with creamed peas. Good food doesn't require expensive ingredients, just thoughtful preparation. Salmon patties with creamed peas was a classic midweek dinner, particularly popular in the 1940s and 1950s, but maintaining a strong presence through the 70s, when fresh fish was hard to find or too expensive. Canned salmon provided an affordable, stable source of protein that could be turned into something special. The patties combined salmon with breadcrumbs, eggs, and seasonings, then are fried in butter or oil until golden. The crispy outer crust contrasts beautifully with the soft interior, turning modest pantry ingredients into a hot, satisfying meal. What elevated this dish was the creamed peas, a white sauce made from flour, butter, and milk, poured over everything, softening the fish patties and adding diner-style comfort. The combination was warm, creamy, and surprisingly filling. Crucially, this unpretentious dish could feed a family of 5 with just 1 can of salmon and a bag of frozen peas. Jell-O 1, 2, 3 Dessert. Innovation reached new heights when General Foods introduced Jell-O 1, 2, 3 Dessert, a miracle powder that spontaneously separated into 3 distinct layers upon setting. A clear jelly layer at the bottom, a mousse-like layer in the middle, and a light foam layer on top. This 3-tiered dessert captivated families with its science experiment-like transformation, turning a single mixture into an eye-catching, layered dessert. Available in strawberry, orange, and raspberry flavors, the dessert was often served in clear glass parfait cups to showcase the impressive separation. Children were mesmerized by the distinct layers, while mothers appreciated the no-bake simplicity, yet still delivering a wow factor at the dinner table. Velveeta Fudge. Velveeta Fudge is not a myth, but a real dessert that appeared on tables across America. The star ingredient was the familiar processed cheese block found in countless refrigerators. The logic behind this unusual pairing was that Velveeta is soft, salty, and melts perfectly. When combined with cocoa powder, butter, and powdered sugar, it creates an incredibly creamy, rich texture, very similar to traditional fudge. Skeptics became believers after a single taste. After melting and blending, the flavor of the cheese completely disappears, leaving behind a rich, ultra-smooth chocolate fudge with a subtle hint of saltiness. In an era when fresh dairy products were expensive or hard to store, Velveeta offered a practical alternative. The recipe became a cherished family secret, passed down through generations with a caveat: try it before you judge it. The unexpected marriage of processed cheese and chocolate proves the creative problem-solving that characterized mid-century American cooking, finding new uses for everyday ingredients to create something surprisingly delicious. Salisbury Steak TV Dinner. The signature flavor of the sauce-covered patty, neither quite hamburger nor quite meatloaf, created a unique flavor profile. This convenience meal solution represented the changing American lifestyle of the 70s, where increasing working women, busier family schedules, and the growing influence of television on daily life created a need for quick meals that could be eaten while watching popular shows. These aluminum tray meals, featuring a ground beef patty covered in mushroom gravy, alongside compartments of mashed potatoes, corn, and a brownie, became a defining culinary experience for a generation of Americans. The introduction of the microwave oven into many homes during this decade made the TV dinner even more convenient, cutting preparation time from 25 minutes in a conventional oven to just a few minutes. Children loved being allowed to eat on TV trays in the living room during special programs, while parents appreciated the break from cooking on busy nights. Cherry Cola Pulled Pork. Cherry Cola Pulled Pork is a flavor combination that initially sounds strange but yields spectacular results. The savory, slow-roasted pork is simmered in a pool of BBQ sauce and cherry cola. This dish gained popularity, especially in the South, because it combined everyday ingredients in an unexpected yet delicious way. The caramelized sweetness from the cherry cola perfectly complements the rich, savory flavor of the pork, creating a complex flavor profile with minimal effort. Everything involved in this recipe was readily available in most households, making it ideal for home cooks in the slow cooker era. The roast pork becomes so tender that it falls apart with just a fork, while the cola concentrates into a glossy, sticky sauce that coats every strand of meat. It was a presentation dish capable of feeding a crowd while leaving them satisfied and impressed, proving that sometimes the most unexpected combinations create the most memorable meals. Bologna and mustard sandwich. To conclude our journey, we cannot overlook the classic that defined a generation, the bologna and mustard sandwich. Simply perfectly round bologna with yellow mustard on white bread. The bologna always had that strange casing around it that some kids peeled off and others ate without question. The mustard sometimes soaked through the bread by lunchtime, creating yellow spots on the exterior as a preview of what was inside. Often you would trade half of this sandwich for a few potato chips or a cookie. There was a precise science to spreading the mustard. Some preferred a thin, even layer across the entire surface. Others used the squeeze bottle to create artistic patterns. And the truly bold concentrated the mustard in the center for a punch of flavor with milder edges. Bologna itself was a hot topic of debate. Name brand versus generic, thick cut versus thin cut, beef versus mystery meat. The sandwich invited personalization. Some added a slice of cheese, others included a leaf of iceberg lettuce for crispness. But on special days, or if you were especially well behaved, you might discover 2 slices stacked, the equivalent of a double cheeseburger. Olive loaf sandwich. The olive loaf sandwich was the ultimate friendship divider. This processed meat, speckled with floating green olives that looked more like a science experiment than lunch, sat between 2 slices of bread with a smear of mayo. It was either your favorite thing in the world, or your worst nightmare. Sometimes the olives would pop out and roll across the lunch table, turning into makeshift toys until the monitor caught you playing with your food. The salty, slightly tangy flavor was an acquired taste, branding you as either weird or sophisticated depending on who you asked. In the cafeteria, olive loaf created clear social lines. Olive lovers would huddle together comparing how many whole olives they scored in each slice, while olive haters looked on in disgust from the other side of the room. The perfect slice had at least 3 full olives visible from both sides. The really lucky kids might even find a slice with a single olive stretching. Any 70s dishes we missed? Share your memories below to help us preserve this precious culinary heritage. If this trip down memory lane brought a smile to your face and evoked fond recollections, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to Back to Yesterday so we can continue revisiting beautiful memories together. Thank you, and see you on our next exciting journey of discovery.